Hello and welcome back to the Hive. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and become one of the bees. Today we're building a farm. However, you can see the exact moment I realized I had no water. So I went to go put down ice and wait for that to melt. Should this farm have been done in the first episode? Absolutely. But you know, this whole series has been a wild ride, so just don't blame me. Then this happened while I was just peacefully mining, so that's great, love this level. But I made an axe and successfully-ish beat both guardians. This chest popped up which contained a turtle egg, so I'm excited about that. And then I had this encounter with a pufferfish that almost killed me, so that was a surprise. Anyway, then I got impatient and looked it up, and apparently you can just break ice for water. So I went to go do that and then pulled off probably the stupidest play of 2025 by accidentally putting my dirt block right on top of it. But it's okay. I broke the other ice block for 1 bucket of water and am now questioning how I'm ever gonna get an infinite source, but at least we're getting somewhere. I've decided this episode is going to be the one where I don't die. So I needed to light up the place by putting a torch in the fountain that's experiencing a drought at the moment, as well as the fences by my abandoned polar bear enclosure. Alright, and now the farm building begins. I didn't really know where to put it, so I just kind of filled in this awkward gap between the animal pen and my tree farm area, I guess, with dirt. Hopefully this will also help me from not falling off the edge. And then this polar bear was attracted to, I think, my snow fox that was in the animal pen, which I thought was kind of funny because he was just trying to get him. But I planted my little wheat seeds. I also went back and planted my pumpkin and melon seeds, and then I just went back to mining. I had an elder guardian spawn, which actually wasn't too big of a hassle. However, I did get stuck with mining fatigue 3, so I couldn't really do very much, and I literally waited for it to go away, and then I realized later on when it happened again that I can actually just drink a milk bucket, but I kind of forgot about that, so I did wait those 2 minutes. And then I got another turtle and I'm so happy. He has a little friend now. Havoc immediately struck because I got a message that there's gonna be a monster party and I didn't really see it right away. And then this happened and I was like, oh, that's what that is. That means that my base now looks like this. At least my turtles are still alive. So the first thing I did was get some more wood to at least fill in that floor so that my turtles don't fall off and so that I don't fall off, because we all know that has happened one too many times. I needed a little bit more birch wood though. I just decided to make the fences out of birch, so I chopped down that tree and then left it to decay. I only had enough wood to make 2 fences, so I put one on the inside and then one on the other side towards the forest. And then I realized one of my chests was destroyed. So I had to put down another one, and I did not realize it at the time, but you'll notice later in the video that there are weird moments where I pause, and that's because all of the crap that I had in said destroyed chest also got destroyed, or, you know, fell through the ground. So I'm missing, I know a big thing is cobblestone, missing that, it's all gone, don't have any more stone. And then there's probably some other random little stuff that I'm missing. Another one is my bed. So I made a new one and then I went to sleep because I'm so done with this day. Alright, I suited up and now I'm going down just to mine a couple blocks just to see what we get. There's not very much that I can do at the moment given that I don't have tools. Yeah, they all broke. Anyway, then these drowned spawned, and I don't know what was wrong with them, but they were not attacking me for whatever reason, so I just kept whacking them with the stick. I almost lost my turtle here, and I freaked out because I pushed him through the fence gap, and I didn't know that they could fit through a 1-block gap. I thought they could only fit through like a 2-block gap, so I got really scared that he was gonna fall off, but luckily he was okay. This guy, I just let him through the fence because my idea was like, oh, I'll push him through and then I'll just like kick him off the ledge. And he went straight to the farm for some reason. And then I later discovered that it's because there's water right there and they're attracted to water because they're drowned. So that's, you know, why he's going over there. So you'll notice I did the same thing when these drowned spawned as well. I just pushed them through the fence. They weren't moving and then they finally went. One of them trampled my farmland. So now I gotta replant that seed, but it's okay. And then the other one, I thought this was super funny. It literally went in the water and then just fell. Anyway, then I went to go mine this spruce tree because I noticed that the birch saplings or the birch leaves weren't decaying. And I was like, oh, it's probably because it's picking up the wood by the spruce tree. So they're not gonna decay. So I chopped that down. There were no saplings to pick up. So they either didn't decay into saplings or they fell off the ledge. But I'm pretty sure I made it thick enough so that they wouldn't fall off the ledge, which means that it just straight up, these leaves aren't giving me saplings. I emptied out my inventory and then went back to mining. And I received a little chest with lily pads and prismarine shards, which would be really cute if I had my aquarium set up, but you know, don't have an infinite source of water, so. And then fish spawned, and I feel so bad about this. Like, I want to save them, but I can't, so they just kind of flopped around. I received another chest with more prismarine and ink sacs, so I thought that was pretty cool. I can have black dye now for whatever I may need to dye. And then I went back to check on my birch saplings because I noticed that all the leaves had decayed and there was not a single one. Not a single one. So we are officially out of birchwood. Guys, that was all my birchwood. So don't know what to do about that, but you know. Okay, then I had a run-in with a guardian, and I did not know what to do about this guy, but he just flopped himself off the edge. So I was like, you know what? Perfect. That's that problem taken care of. And I went straight back to mining. Got another chest with some kelp, which, oh my gosh, would be amazing for decorating an aquarium, but unfortunately I don't have one yet, so. Then I noticed my pumpkin grew, which is exciting news, great news. Went ahead and mined that. And then it looks like my wheat is almost ready, and this panda was stressing me, polar bear. This polar bear was stressing me out because he was on the edge. I thought he was gonna fall off. I decided to test my luck with this creeper and try to push him off the edge, and that's how that ended. So I also realized now watching this back that it blew up my torch. So that's great. I gotta relight that. You know, I was wondering, because later on in this episode, there are like a ton of creepers that spawn over there. And I'm like, I specifically put torches down so that mobs wouldn't spawn. And there just kept being like at least 3 or 4 creepers over there. And now it makes sense. He blew up my torch. So then this guy spawned. And okay, first of all, I have never been in an ocean monument in survival. I found them in creative, but I've never like actually attempted one in survival. So I don't know the correct way to go about beating them. I thought if you just let them sit out, like they'll drown. So I like kind of, you know, left it out of water for a little bit, but it wasn't working and I was getting really annoyed by the sound that this thing makes. So then I tried whacking it, but it hits me when I hit it. So I'm like, what the heck? And yeah, this is just how that went. I got so fed up I made a sword, guys. And it did work. It did work. We did defeat the guardian, the elder guardian, whatever it's called. Then I decided to be risky and make an iron pickaxe. We all know how this has went the last couple of episodes that I've made iron tools, so who knows if that was a smart decision, but at least we're mining blocks faster. My wheat grew and I very carefully picked up these seeds. I'm kind of stupid now. I realize that I probably should have extended that dirt a little bit so that I didn't have to worry about picking up the seeds or not. But you see that? That's what I mean. There's already creepers back over there. Okay, and then I got this musical chest, which I think is really cool. I think a book and quill would have been a lot more fun to have in the beginning of this series, just so you can kind of track like each stage and write stuff down as you find it, or like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, because in my mind it's a little journal type of thing, like, oh, I'm stranded on this one block, let me write my experience, blah blah blah, but they give it to you in stage 4 with the ocean, so I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. There's this enderman that was spawning and dying because of the rain, so I decided to go get it, see if I could get an ender pearl, but I accidentally kind of knocked him off the edge. I also don't think he dropped a pearl though, because I didn't see it when I looked over the edge, so yeah. And then, oh, we're brave again, trying to fight these creepers. Knocked one off, nice, nice. And the other 2 exploded, so that's not so nice, but it's okay. It is what it is at this point. That's just, yeah. Back to mining. Okay, holy grail, guys. Holy grail, we got water. At first I was like, oh my gosh, you know, fish, whatever. And then I realized the fish are in water. So I now have an infinite water source. I can really get started. We're about 4 episodes in, 5 episodes in. I lost count. But this is where we're starting. And then I put it down and I freaked out for a second because I'm like, why is the fish here and not my water? And then I realized it's because that's a cobblestone slab, so it just got put on the bottom of the block. But yeah, here we go. Oh my gosh, I'm making my little fountain, my infinite water source. It's so exciting. I literally could have had this like 3 episodes earlier, but I accidentally died with my water bucket on me. So that's great. Now, I know I just mentioned that this is where this series is starting, but I also think that this is where this series will be ending. I just wanted to complete this stage. Let's say I made it to the ocean stage, episode 5.